How's it going, guys? Welcome to week number 3 in our Principles of Management class. First and foremost, thank you for all your efforts and hard work. I appreciate it. We are entering, it's crazy how fast this goes, and you're going to recognize it very quickly. Week number 3, of course, is 1 week before our midterm. So, really wanted to give you enough time to understand what the midterm is and what to expect. So, in the midterm, as I've mentioned before, all the questions that will be in the midterm are questions that you are seeing in your tests, in your weekly quizzes. So I get this question asked every semester, and every semester I try to rephrase it so everyone can understand. But the questions that you are answering in your quiz are some of the questions that will be added in your midterm. So there's not going to be any surprises. So therefore, I do not give a study guide or any information other than the fact that you are seeing all the questions. Do what you want with that information. I don't know how else to explain that without being more revealing. None of these questions are going to be a surprise. You are seeing them currently. So that put aside, that's for next week. That's being week 4. Next week we will not have a discussion because you'll have your 2 chapters that you've been doing on a weekly basis, and you'll have a midterm. So next week I will not have a discussion out there for you, so you don't have to worry about the discussion portion of it. So this week, let me wrap up what we talked about last week, which was the ethical perspectives. I'll be grading through that, so give me some time. I have to read through all the perspectives and everything else. I'll be, going through that all week. I have graded week 1 already. You'll see that, but week 2 will, be delayed until towards the end of this week. I'll be able to get that done. Last week there was a few things we talked about that I thought I should come back and inform you on. One of them is the concept of lies, and of course, some of you were, very straightforward that you didn't think lying is good in any form or fashion. I respect that. I think that's wonderful. So this isn't about what's necessarily directly right or wrong or illegal. It's what's right and wrong for you. So ethical perspective in regards to lying, it depends on how you view it. But for example, for my faith-based people, and I did read some people that sort of came to that conclusion. Like there are certain scenarios where lying is okay. Actually, it's not bad. And I know that a lot of times when we associate the concept of lying or deceiving, it seems negative, but it's not always true. As a matter of fact, for my faith based individuals, there's a time in scripture where a person lied to save the spies. They lied to their government. They were hiding people and lied to their government so that they won't get caught. And this individual wasn't a necessarily a righteous good person. It was just a person from the community, to say, to put it that way, Rahab, and she was actually blessed for lying. So it wasn't even a bad consequence. It actually turned out to be a great thing, a good thing. It was a positive thing. I just, as I mentioned in my introduction, came back from Amsterdam and was able to go to the or go by and towards the Anne Frank Museum. So some of you who have read her diary, the Anne Frank diary, know the story about during World War II and the Holocaust. The people who lived in that house, I should have put up a picture of it, but the people who lived in that house hid her and her family to spare them from getting killed by the Nazis during that time. And I would say that lying to their government at the time was good. It was okay. It was beneficial. It was a great thing to do. Um, so don't get me wrong. I do think that there's times where lying is absolutely unwarranted, wrong, and a lot of times I think it's very selfish based. But I believe that lying is really not what you do; is why you do it, why you're lying. Some of you have mentioned the situation with your kids and Christmas and creating this memory for them. And it could go either way. Some parents think that that's deceiving their kids. I get it. And like I said, I'm not trying to become judgy here. I'm just laying out what I've known about ethics, and that's kind of the perspective. So yeah, we've seen that scenario about lying and deceiving very often. There's a statement that's been used a lot: everything's fair in war and love. Interpret that however you want, but in war, we always lie. We deceive people all the time in war. We're not going to tell them our agenda or our secrets or whatever. We deceive other nations, and that's perfectly normal and right, and to a certain extent. We're not going to reveal to them things that might hurt us. So that said, lines out the picture. But this week we go into more of a business tool, which is called a SWOT analysis. And a SWOT analysis is designed at different levels of a business, but I've seen it used a lot. By the way, SWOT meaning SWOT. The S is for strengths, the W is for weaknesses, the O is for opportunities, and the T is for threats. So strength, weaknesses, which are focused internally, and then opportunity and threats, which are external. So this is an analysis tool that we use in business to determine where we fall in this world as a business, right? So I used to use a technique, or not a technique, an example of a taco truck. As you know, I enjoy food, and tacos is a great, easy example to do it. So a taco is pretty simple. Depends on who you talk to, but it's really a tortilla, some type of protein, and some veggies, and boom, you got a taco. Um, it's almost like you could be like, no one can get this wrong, but you can. And in a SWOT analysis, I'll say, for example, if I wanted to start a taco truck, I wanted to be a taco man, right? And I create a business plan for my taco truck. And I'm looking at my strengths and weaknesses. And I would say my strength, something that stands out and no one else can do, but I can do, or I do it better, is I'm going to provide only top quality ingredients. I'm not going to give you that fatty meat that some of these taco places, that's why they're able to sell it for $1, right? They're giving you garbage tortilla, garbage meat, and they're just putting on some nasty old soggy tomatoes and some 4-day old lettuce that they cut up somewhere. No, I'm going to give you only handcrafted, beautiful tortillas and top quality meat. I'm going to season it with the best ingredients. I'm going to let it marinate for a day or two. I'm going to use only top quality organic tomatoes, onions, limes, and lettuce. And I'm going to give you just the best of the best. But I'm not going to charge you $1. I'm going to charge you $4. And my SWOT analysis says that because my strength is quality ingredients. But what's my weakness? And my weakness is probably that no one knows who I am. No one knows that maybe I'm not this person. I'm making it up, but maybe I'm a top chef. One of the shows that I like to watch mainly because it's based out of Chicago and it's based out of a story in Chicago called The Bear. It's on Netflix. It's a great show. I know you guys are probably like, this guy just watches TV all day. Actually, don't. But when we do get some chance to take in a show like that, we do. But The Bear, I love it because in Chicago, we have this sandwich called an Italian beef, and it's not a Philly, and it's not like a regular beef, but it just the flavors are so dynamic because they marinate this meat overnight for like 12 hours and then every day it's marinated. So one of my very, very first jobs, I was 13 years old, I went to work for one of these places, like a Italian beef, Chicago hot dog type of place. And they would have us create this sort of concoction with seasonings and oils and all this stuff in there and marinate this meat, and we would put them in coolers. And every day this was my job, is to marinate the meat and put it in the cooler for the next day. And the next day they would before we left at night, they would put it in this oven and it'll cook overnight. So it's just so tender and they slice it so thin. It's delicious. You ever go to Chicago, make sure you try a couple things: an Italian beef, a hot dog, Chicago style, and pizza. Not the deep dish pizza, the thin crust, regular Chicago pizza. Deep dish is for tourists, not for locals. So don't go wasting your time on that. Anyhow, that's it. My taco truck is going to have top ingredients, best of the best. My weakness is no one knows who I am, so why come to me, right? But the opportunities are external. They're what's happening on the outside world. Business does not survive on its own. It needs an environment, right? I can have the best, absolute best ingredients, absolute best flavors, the best pricing. But if the environment that I'm in doesn't support it, I'm not going to be successful. My business is not going to make it. And this happens all the time. People do this all the time. They go, "Oh, I'm a baker. I make the best pies." But in my area, there's not enough people to buy the pie. So I'm not going to make it, even though my pie could be amazing. It could be the best. People tell me this all the time. I don't understand. Why don't they open up a Target in Dalton or Calhoun? I'll tell you why. Because if they do, the people here cannot afford to go there. So they don't open it. So businesses look at SWOT analysis and say, where is their opportunity? Where are people making enough money that they have excessive income or more income than normal to be able to go to a Target? It just happens that Target this isn't their audience. There's no external opportunity here. There's not enough money in this area. Threats are who's the competitor. In Dalton, there's 50 taco places here. So there's external threats. Everyone eats tacos. Or what if the environment changes? What if people are like, tacos are bad for you? Tacos are no good. We need to eat now healthy things. No more tortillas. Let's use lettuce only, lettuce leaves to make our tacos and only have, I don't know, tofu instead of protein for the protein. And the whole entire community becomes super healthy. Well, taco business is gone, right? The threats out there are real. So this week, what I want you to do is, in your own world, in your own way, you're going to create a SWOT analysis. Please Google SWOT analysis to see. Don't please put some effort into this. Don't use generic analysis that are out there because you're going to be flagged for it. But talk about a startup that you would like to see or know, and create a SWOT analysis. I just want you to critically think what is needed out there, what's going to be my strength as a business, what's going to be my weakness internally, like from my internal perspective, and then externally, environmental. What's happening out there? Where's the opportunities at? Where's the threats at? A lot of people go, "Oh, it'll be great down here. It'll be a family center, a family fun center, arcades and bouncy and all that stuff." Well, is this environment a good opportunity to put it here? Will people support that in Dalton and Calhoun and in Floyd and Catoosa and Walker? Is there enough money in these environments to be able to support that? Maybe they'll come out for a week, maybe two, but will people continuously come out to do that every week? So I want you to critically think. So create your own SWOT. A SWOT are in segments. It's not just like, don't give me a list. Go out there, use your technology, creatively create a SWOT analysis. It should be in quadrants and sections, and do a little bit of research. I don't need you to go deep dive into this, but do some research. Try to figure out what would be needed. Create your startup here, okay? Other than that, so today, actually, surprisingly, it's Friday, but I want to get this video out to you and have it ready for you on Monday. But today it's Friday. It's almost 4:00 p.m. I'm about to leave. My wife and I are going to go to Rabun County. There's a resort there that we're going to go spend a weekend in, since this is the holiday weekend. So I hope when you're seeing this, you've had a great day off on Monday. And I hope you're enjoying your time off. But my wife and I are going there, and then we're going to go visit my daughter on Sunday night in Athens. That's where she lives. By visit, that means I have to go. She's got a new apartment, so she wants me to mount her TVs. She's got two TVs, the one for her living room, one in her bedroom. So I got to go work for my daughter for free. So all you daughters, you know who I'm talking about. So yeah, I got to go do that for the weekend, and that's it. I'll be back on Tuesday. So Monday I do have off, but I'll be back on Tuesday. But I wanted to get this video to you so then if you just happen to be working on Monday, it's ready to go. Monday, everything works the way it normally would, and I don't want you to delay a day. So that being said, guys, I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you're enjoying the class. I'm looking forward to reading your discussions, finish the ethical perspectives, and then look at what you got for the SWOT analysis. Other than that, have a great cup of coffee. Have a good weekend. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.